Today's episode is brought to you by some shitty NASCAR beer because Target was full of screaming children and I didn't feel like going all the way back to the beer aisle. It is also in, I don't know where that came from, Wandering Koozie, no idea. And why is there a coffee cup on it? Like, you don't put coffee in a koozie. Whose idea was this? They misunderstood the assignment. Hey guys, I'm Chevy Rell. I noticed that we have a lot of new subs, so if you're new here, thanks for stopping by. Hope you enjoy. Right out of the gate, if you want to know more about me, as per usual, go check out the intro video, and if not, let's get started. What I'm wearing, this is my sheep to sweater post-apocalyptic life skill audition. No. You can find this on Instagram. I have a bunch of pictures of, or not a bunch of pictures, you know how you can like flip through the pictures. It starts with the sheep and then we got it processed. I got it dyed and then I spun it and then I knit it into this. I'll stand back here. How you like them apples? The whole thing started back in 2014. I went to, I've said before, a farm. I split a fleece with a friend and then it started. My original thought on this, I had this idea from the get-go. However, this pattern is the White Pepper sweater by Alicia Plummer. Alicia. It was supposed to be, or it started out being, the Less is More cardigan. For those of you who aren't familiar with that, it was on Knitty. There's two different patterns for the Less is More cardigan. One had a zipper and one had one of those leather, it was just an open front cardigan and they had one of those cool leather clip things. Regarding the Knitty article, it was more to do with the color theory on the Less is More, I think, than it was to do with the pattern. It was a little bit, now that I'm saying this out loud, isn't this interesting? It was a little bit pre-fade. If you guys go check out that article on Knitty, I'll link it. It talks about spinning for the purpose of color theory. So say you have 4 braids and then it shows a little diagram how you can connect, how 4 braids can be completely different, but you can connect the colors. And then you knit it in a fade, which this very much, I mean, I didn't, you know what I mean. If you look at the pictures, you'll be able to tell. That's why I wanted to do the Less is More. I liked the idea of spinning 4 braids that would go together and turn it into a sweater. If you look at the project pages, a lot of them are faded, and that was, I mean, that was clear back in 2014, and it's older, it's an older pattern than that. So she was ahead of her time. By the time I got all the yarn spun and went to look at the Less is More pattern, I just wasn't feeling it as far as the knitted pattern. So I followed the color, the spinning for the sweater and the colors when I sent the fleece off to the dyer. I just went on a hunt for another pattern and came up with the White Pepper, and I like it very well. And I love it. It's awesome. I made the collar way longer than hers, I think. I do sort of wish, oh, and the gray is not hand spun, just the color. Gosh, I forget what the gray is too. I think it might be Mineville Wool Project in Field Mouse. The collar's floppy. I do kind of wish that it would stick up a little more, but whatever, I still love it. Want to see my finished objects for the week? Do you, haha, do ya? One finished square, For those of you who are new here, I am working on a blanket. I purchased this book many moons ago. That was this square, which is square 11. I showed some in past episodes. I will show them to you as they're done. Eventually the plan is to sew them all together, and I want to use a gray similar to this to connect them all, and maybe someday before I die I will have a blanket. I did like 4 rows on my Brainless socks, so I'm not showing those. I did maybe 20 stitches on my Oracle, so I'm not showing those. So next up are my Seeta fingerless mittens, and those are by Maria Scheherazade. I wish there was like a little person in my ear, be like, it's pronounced Scheherazade or whatever. Scheherazade, I don't know. These fingerless mittens. It's a free pattern. I am using, whoops, here it is. Oh gosh. My ink's too shiny. I am knitting them for my cousin out of pashmina, which is a Mad Tosh in the color Geode, I believe it is. No idea, I think it's Geode. But last episode I was here, I have one whole mitt done. Let me just show you. They're really cool. I like them a lot. So fast. They are a fast knit and they are super fun. And then the second one I got started. Bam! Look at all that knitting. Hopefully they will be done the next time you see them. I don't know. While I'm talking about this pattern, I am going to fast forward to my viewer question. They started at the cuffs, right? I used the Estonian cast on, which I love, but for this reason, like, okay, this Jenny's stretchy bind off. Estonian, it actually looks similar, but the cast on, you can feel that I want it, I don't like that tightness. So it's much the same reason that I do not do top-down socks. I'm a toe up, 2 at a time, Judy's Magic cast on sock vanilla pattern person, fish lips kiss heel. The reason that I don't do top down is not because I don't enjoy or don't like them. It's because I cannot find a cast on that I like. I don't like any of them. They all have that like, and I've tried to do the Jenny's surprisingly stretchy cast on. I always do her bind off. That's what the bind off is up here. But I've tried that cast on a couple times and it just doesn't work for me. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I don't know if it's fiddly or I get hung up on it. I don't know, but I've tried other things. One that I did want to try is it the German twisted cast on? Something German. Yeah. I want to know what you guys use for your top-down socks and if they're super stretchy or if there's still that like hard edge when you go to put them on, because I hate that. I have old school sock drawers. That's what I was going to say. I have old school socks in my sock drawer that I knit back when I was a beginner knitter. Oh, well, I have a perfect example. These are my squirrel socks. I have no idea what the pattern is, but aren't they cute? I love them, right? Yeah, no, they still have that, So they hang on I have a little deer head up here. It's not real, but they hang on that for decoration in my stuff room because I can't wear them and I want to show them off because they're so stinking cute. So that's my viewer question. If you want to give me your ideas on what you guys, you top-down knitters, what do you top-down knitters use? You know, tops and bottoms, so different. This is what, I know it doesn't look like I got a lot of knitting done thus far. And this is going to be really hard to show. I have been addicted to this, you guys. My dirty martini. Okay, so I have, this is gonna be so hard to show. Okay, so I am a 2 at a time sock knitter, and I'm a 2 at a time sleeve knitter. Always, always. Anyway, the last time you guys saw this, where? There's my marker. See it right there. It just had the raglan, and I knit all that plus the front. This is Miss Babs Perfectly Reckless in a Yowza skein. This is one whole skein of Yowza. And then this border is funny papers. So I did the whole border in funny papers, and then I also started, which you can't even tell, the sleeves in funny papers. Then I used Mindful Wool Project Field Mouse to do this little band. It's a garter stitch band. There's this cute little slip stitch contrasting color thing going on here, but I don't know if you can tell. When I put this on, that flares a little bit, and I'm hoping, like, it sticks out. I'm hoping that once I block it, that'll lay flatter. We'll see. But as you can see, I've been totally addicted to it. Another whip that you guys can't see and I can't show you is because it's a secret knit for Dan for Valentine's Day. Anyway, and that's it for my knitting. That's all that's on the needles. That's all that's going on. Boom. Next up is enabling. Okay, first off, I got my I Love Handles. Is that what it's called? Yeah. God, the lighting is terrible. Would you like to see me glow? I'm so white. My best friend says I'm transparent, which is basically pretty accurate. This bracelet is a measuring, I'm not going to take it off because you guys have all seen them. It's leather. I got it from I Love Handles. Mine is a 15-inch in dark brown. So if you guys want to order these, you have to have your measurements. I had no idea. Luckily, my friend Rachel has one and she let me try hers on. So I knew that a 15-inch would work for me. Yeah. The one thing that I have to tell you about this, it comes in 4 different colors. There's like a natural, a light brown, a dark brown, and then a black. I got the dark brown, and I will tell you, it bled. I mean, when I first got it, I had brown dye all over my hands. So I texted the girls, and I was like, look at this, and they were like, oh my gosh. They said, try, just wiping it off. It's probably excess dye. So I tried wiping it off. I took a wet paper towel. I don't know if you guys remember when, I think there's another company that makes these because Diana, Suburban Stitcher. I can't remember if it's Diane or Diana, I'm sorry. She got one. God, now I could be totally misspeaking. It might not have even been her because it was so long ago and I drank. I think it was her. And I've heard a couple other people say that as well, that when they first got theirs, they were really stiff and they showered with them on a couple times to like make them softer and pliable. And it worked really well. So I was fully anticipating having to do that until I tried on my friend Rachel's and I was like, oh my gosh, I thought this was supposed to be, I said, did you shower with this on? She said, no, it comes like that. It is, it's very soft. I'm such a long storyteller. Because I knew that people showered with them on to soften up the leather, I just took a wet washcloth and like went up and down it a few times and let it dry, and I never had a problem. Now the washcloth was totally brown, but I never had a problem after that. So if you order one of these, just beware. And I'm guessing it's just going to happen with the dark brown and the black, but I think you ought to know. Hey guys, guess what I got? Faux dead things. Okay, here's the story on these. Back on one of my last episodes, I said I had no idea how to order these. I asked if they were all created equal, what the differences were. I looked all over. I ended up picking these guys. Let's see. This one looks like it has a little more. I like this kind of crazy tufting that comes out, which this one has it too, just maybe not. Just not as much, or it's dark maybe, and this one's light. I don't know. I purchased them both on Etsy. The only difference is one has black string, one has white string. They are very heavy. There's like a ball. It almost feels like there's a ball with stuffing, and then they put this around it. I can't tell the difference. I got one from Evas Studio and another from Kitchen Klutter, because Kitchen Klutter was by far the #1 answer when y'all helped me out when I asked where I should get them. I followed Kitchen Klutter before the Pom-pom things. Michelle on Naughty Knitwits, Michelle from Naughty Knitwits, their podcast, they're one of them. They're two of my West Coast peeps that I want to be friends with. Michelle talked about Kitchen Klutter because she got a waxed canvas bag that is awesome, and it's on my wish list.
My birthday's in a couple weeks.
I followed her from that. I never thought about doing the poms. That being said, I can't tell you which one came from where. They are both very heavy. They are both very, like, I don't know. They weigh my hat way down. I don't know if it's because I have a slouchy hat, like if it needs to be on more of a fitted hat, because then it would like sit on top of your head instead of hang back. I don't know. I've tried them both. I want to knit fitted hats and see if they work better. So I think for my Marauders hat, it's slouchy. So when I put that pom-pom on, yeah, maybe a yarn pom-pom for this hat. And these are going to have to go on something else. Maybe they won't even go on a hat. They look fun. Maybe I'll tie it on Miss Olive. I could tie it on her tail. Okay, here's a little tidbit for all you non-pug owners. I wonder if I can do this. Does this work? No, I was going to try and zoom in. See how... That's hard. There we go. See how her tail's straight? Okay. When pugs are tired, sad, or don't feel good, their tails go straight. When they are happy, their tails will curl up like a piggy tail, and it's so cute. Anyway, back to the fiber. Some people talk about their kids. I talk about my fur babies. Next and last enabling, I can thank Tommy from Squirrel Pie Productions. She showed this off on her podcast, this brand. It is so sheepy and wonderful, and I cannot wait to knit it. I do have a pattern picked out for this. It is the Modern Mukluks by Andrea Mowery. I cannot wait. I did not let myself cast it on because I want to finish that sweater. I will have multiple things on the needles, but I get to a point where I won't let myself cast anything else on because I know I won't finish it. Case in point, exactly what happened with my Oracle. I started knitting a bunch of other things, and of course that was on Fuck You Island for a while. So I'll get back to her, don't worry. But I feel like I need to get some stuff off the needles first. So you'll be seeing these in the near future because I'm really excited about it. Next up is show and tell. Isn't he cute? He needs a name. This is cardboard. Dan made it for me. Dan is an engineer. He works at a tooling company that also does laser imaging. They got a new laser and it was Dan's job to figure out how it worked before he taught other people how it worked. So what do you do when you get something new? You play with it, and he made me this. He drew it up and like he put it together. It's just, you know, but isn't it cute? Anyway, that's my show and tell. Next up is DIY Pinterest other section. The quilts that I showed last week, 2 weeks ago, last episode, whenever that was, they are at Mama Jean's. Get this, you guys. I thought she was going to show me how to quilt them and have me do it. She's totally doing it for me. She's going to quilt it and do the binding. How awesome is that? I am so excited. So you'll see those when they're finished. Fibershare, I sent my box off to Washington. She should have, well, I know, it was delivered yesterday. I have not heard from her yet. I hope she likes it. I have been in contact with my gal, who is an indie dyer, and of course I will show you my box. I cannot wait. That sounded terrible. I'll show you, and then I was gonna say I'll show you my package. I'll show you all my goodies from Fibershare when Kelly sends them to me. Another thing that took away time from my knitting is my brother lives, we're from a very small town, and he lives in a huge house on the main drag in our small town. The house he lives in used to be the mayor's home many years ago, but everyone in town still calls it the mayor's house. When you're trying to explain where he lives, people will like have a blank look on their face, and as soon as he says the mayor's house, everyone knows which one he's talking about. That being said, it was built in like 1860, 18 something, and hasn't been updated much from there. So he just started kind of getting things updated, and we started with a small spare bedroom in his house, and you know me, I love DIY. Well, I will post a couple pictures here. That's what we did all last weekend. I didn't get a whole lot of knitting done except for the ride to and from. As I hope some of you have seen, I did the Fiber Arts tag. It was super fun. I hope some of you do it. I would love to see your answers. I also, as some of you may or may not have seen, am going to be starting a new tag. I call it the Fiber Friends tag. And what that is, if you haven't seen my little announcement video on that, it's short. I'll put it up here. It's like 2 minutes long. I thought it would be fun to ask people that we live with or people who are very prominent in our worlds some fiber questions and what they think about our obsession. So be on the lookout for that. I think that's a wrap, guys. It's going to be shorter, one of my shorter videos, just because I don't have a whole lot of knitting, but I don't mind that because that means I have more time to go knit and finish my beverage. I will catch you next time. Subscribe if you're not already. Give it a thumbs up. That helps other people to find it. You know where to find me on all of the intranets, or stay tuned. There's a little card at the end of the video. It tells you where to find me. I'm Chevy Rel everywhere. Mostly you will find me on Instagram. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please feel free to direct them to the Chevy Rel Instagram account. And until next time, peace out.